So this is something that comes up a lot. So when people are refinancing their house, they give all their information to the title company, and the title company will say, okay, we want an attorney opinion letter. The people are like, well, what's the big deal? Why don't you do it? Well, we're a business, right? We like getting paid. I mean, we have to get paid to survive as a business. That's how it works. We work with flat fees as much as possible on our estate planning end, and we have competitive fees, and we don't have the time built in there to write extra letters for every client. Like, I would love to do all of these things, but we don't have the time to do it. I've done some of these attorney opinion letters in the past, and they're just stupid. In the past, I'm saying it's been a long time. I haven't done them for 5-7 years plus, because I think they're a waste of time. But they ask us to state the same things that are in the trust. We had one recently. They want us to do a letter that the trust was not revoked. They had a copy of it from the client who created it. The parties of the trustor and the trustee. But yet they wanted a letter from an attorney saying that it was still valid. Why? Why do we need to do that? Why? What does it do? So what we recommend is, just remove the property from the trust. And you can ask the title company. A lot of the times they'll do this for you. You just got to make sure you put the property back in after the refi is complete. And I guess this all depends on the title company. I ask a lot of mortgage brokers about this, and I'm saying, it's such a pain. I hate that they want us to do their work for them. And some title companies will just part of the refi, they'll move it out of the trust, and then after it's over, they'll put the property back in the trust. What I told the person the other day, I feel bad telling this to our clients, and I just don't know what the expectation is from the title company. If they're saying, go to your attorney and get this letter, if they're requiring that, then I think that they should pay for it, right? Or at least should be built in. There should be some consideration for those costs. Have you had this issue come up, Will, these attorney opinion letters?
Oh, yeah. Well, not so much the letters. The majority of the time, the title companies have taken title out of the trust and the clients are wanting us to put it back in. I just think that, yes, compensated for our time, but also for the liability. Writing an attorney opinion letter is kind of us guaranteeing what we say in that letter. And so they have to be very carefully worded, and we need to kind of research, which takes time. And then why would we take on that extra liability for no compensation from the title company or the client, for the most part, because they seem to think we could do this in like 5 seconds over taco or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So by signing a letter, we're taking on the liability. So we have to, actually read it and see exactly what they're wanting us to say, and make sure they haven't slipped anything in there.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. I'll talk to the other attorneys about this. People don't feel bad for attorneys at all, do they? If they slip something in the contract and we write an attorney opinion letter, we can't say, oh, I didn't read it, I didn't understand it. And people do that too. See if you can sneak this past an attorney is kind of a tactic. If you can get some attorney to sign off on this, then
yeah,
basically it's their liability. So yeah, if you're refinancing a house, we'd love to help you out as much as possible. If you can give us some time on that helps, and we can do the deeds for you for our minimum fee, which is $350. That's actually cheaper than what we would do an attorney opinion letter for, and I just won't do one. For $350, our minimum fee, we'll do 2 deeds where you transfer it out of the trust and back in. Then you can do your refi, you transfer it out, do the refi. After it's complete, we'll record the deed that puts it back in the trust. So we want to make sure we're providing options for people. I don't want to just complain and say what we're not going to do.
Yeah.
I always want to help and say what they can do. And the quickest way to the finish line if someone's in the process of a refi is put it back on the title company, right? They can do it. They have attorneys on staff. They're actually being paid in this transaction, so make them do the work. I don't think it's if they're asking you for to see an attorney, either that expectation should be set from the beginning, like, hey, you're going to have to incur this expense, or they should incur the expense for that. In our new world, I think you're going to be seeing more of that. It used to be that legal fees were so high and attorneys were charging so much, they could do little things like this for their clients. But that's the people that were confusing them and making sure that they'd have to come back and see him often and pay him a lot every time. All right, so providing a copy of the trust should suffice. By giving the actual legal documents, that should be everything that they need.